Hi, I'm Danny Ecker with your Chicago Business Today Midday Report. U.S. Attorney Pat Fitzgerald spoke this morning about his decision to step down after more than a decade as a federal prosecutor, addressing his tenure, which included a conviction and imprisonment of 2 former governors, and he reflected on the future of ethics in government in Chicago and Illinois.
I've always thought in the dynamic that when people go into an office building, whether it's federal, state, or local, and want something, if the people going in as citizens want something, and they fear being shaken down, that's a bad thing. And if people understood that people would scream bloody murder if they were leaned on for something, then I think that dynamic would change.
And for more on the future of the top federal prosecutor role, I'm joined by Greg Hines. Greg, we were both there today. Fitzgerald obviously offering some advice to his successor, whomever that may be. First of all, how much do you think he has affected political culture in Illinois?
Well, to use his description, he said we're making progress in the war on political corruption, and I think that's probably true, but you have to wonder how much. Mr. Blagojevich was convicted in some ways of the exact same thing that Mr. Ryan did. Nobody would be shocked if other politicians weren't out there doing the same thing right now. But you know, you do your best, you put them away, and eventually it has somewhat of an impact.
Mm-hmm. You wrote today about Illinois Republican Party Chairman Pat Brady saying there ought to be fast action in replacing him. What complications could stall that, and how soon might we know his replacement?
Well, this is an election year. The U.S. attorneys are absolutely a political appointment. Usually the senior senator of the president's party makes a recommendation, in this case Dick Durbin, but nothing happens in the United States Senate these days if the Republicans don't want it to, the minority. We'll see. It could happen pretty quick. If Mr. Obama is reelected, that person will likely stick around for a while. If not, that person will go in a hurry, and Mr. Romney will make the new pick.
And Fitzgerald said today, he said he had some regrets of his tenure, but didn't get into specifics. How do you think Illinois history will look at Pat Fitzgerald?
I think fairly well. He went out of his way to talk about how he's been doing the same thing that his predecessors are doing, and he's right, but this is a different kind of bird. This is some guy who's not going to sign up as a defense lawyer. This is not somebody who's going to run for office. This is a real Eagle Scout, an Elliot Ness type who really believed in being a prosecutor and going after the bad guys. Very, kind of mono-focus. That's a little different.
Right, and of course he fielded a bunch of questions about his own future. What did we learn there?
We learned that he's not running for office. I believe that. We learned that he wouldn't take baseball commissioner, which we in the media have all been speculating about, off the table. And he laughed, literally, when somebody suggested he'd become a defense attorney and make money defending some of the guys he was prosecuting.
All right, once a prosecutor, always a prosecutor. Thanks, Greg.
You're welcome.